decided to fucking go boarding on trip all the way down to the town of Els. The only thing is this 18-year-old ass doesn't have her state ID yet. And wait until we have the opportunity to slip by, into the other room. And we didn't even realize that it was almost sunrise up until it was almost sunrise. So I was so pissed off that I just lost all interest. And there was a whole family meeting there, to my surprise demise. And before you say, oh, well, you could have just watched a PG-13 movie. Well, for number one, ew, one of these cracks have thrown me completely off the trip. Like, it's either this or I'm sleeping on the fucking street tonight, because going on, poor stooges? Couple of updates before we start the story time. I feel very accomplished. Not only for 28 days straight in February did I make an upload every single day, but I made one for the day before, January 31st, and all the way up until March 3rd. That's when you're watching this one. I'm presuming, unless you're watching this late. I'm going to cut my 32 whole day fucking streak right here. I'll still be doing stuff in March. Just every Friday is going to be story time. You know the drill. Don't be a dyke. Leave a comment, leave a like. I've done a lot of different shit, and I think, well, for my YouTube studio, it says I have different viewers. It's starting to come up, like, the viewer-wise. Not returning viewers, though. That's the kicking part. We're gonna jump straight into this. This is a Valentine's Day special. I didn't realize I had a Valentine's Day special until afterwards. I got my big boy release, which is what I was planning on doing, but I'm also not gonna wait an entire year just for the sake of a themed story time. Might as well just, fuck it, let's just do it now, alright? So turn the calendars back to 2020, February 14th on 2020. Now, you're probably gonna be wondering the entire episode, if I don't explain this right now, why this is called 3 Days Chase. This is a long backstory. This whole backstory is the first thing I'm going to talk about. This whole episode, it wouldn't really make that much sense unless you hear the backstory. So I'm just gonna jump into it, fuck it. Here's the backstory to it. And then I'll tell you the story of the 3 Days Chase. Just moved into this new house like 3-4 months ago. This is way back when I had my first board trip with 2 Ps. Because I was so new at skateboarding, I actually wore these hiking boots with steel toes just to keep my balance. I know it's not that much extra added weight, but it was just enough for me not to fall. So a couple days prior to this, I'm trying to ask around, see what I'm going to be doing for Valentine's Day, who I'm going to be hanging out with. Well, I found this one of my FBs. If you know what that means, you know what's going on. If you don't know what that means, sucks to be you, because I'm not going to sit here and explain it. So on this particular day, without a license, my no license having ass, decided to fucking go boarding on trip all the way down to the town of Els. So I went down for a bus stop, because there's absolutely no way I'm going to go that far in another town. And I hit this one sidewalk, and it was like cube-shaped. It was very square. It was 2 whole things, like, space-wise. But they were very cubed into it. And I wasn't going fast enough on my board, so one of these cracks had thrown me completely off of trip. I dove in head first towards the cement. Now, one thing that should be noted is I had a condom in my breast pocket. So as soon as I belly flopped into the pavement, or concrete, picked myself back up, brushed some of the shit off, and I looked. There's a skid mark, kinda. And you can see this circle right here. Everybody knows exactly what's in this pocket, okay? Also, the condom is fucking ruined. Now, before you tell me I should have put it in my wallet because blah blah blah, I'll have you know that by putting your condom in your wallet will actually also destroy the condom. The added pressure from you sitting on your wallet with the condom inside it, and all the movement that you're doing is just going to break the condom. So I'm far enough away from the house to not really want to go back, plus the hill I have to go up, so I'd have to just walk my board anyway. Go back to the house for a fucking condom? No thank you. Nothing interesting happens on the bus, so I finally arrive over to my FBs. My original plan was to take her to a movie, see where it goes from there. Well, what wound up happening was not what I was planning on doing. You see, we crossed the bridge, go back into one of the movie theaters, okay? And now there's one on this side of the street, and there's one on this side of the street. So we go into this movie theater, and we're like, alright, so we're gonna watch some rated R cool shit, right? Why the fuck not? The only thing is this 18-year-old ass doesn't have her state ID yet. I got mine. I made sure to get mine as early as I fucking could. Freedom, right? She didn't. There was absolutely no way for us to prove that she was 18. I was about ready to get some alcohol and just let her drink. Look, she's 21 now. How about that? Well, that was the trouble that occurred in this particular movie theater. They didn't even let us go into the fucker. So we decided go across the street and try that. Why not? It's there. Same shit. And before you say, oh, well, you could have just watched the PG-13 movie. Well, for number one, ew. At that point, we didn't really know what to do. We were bored, figured just dick around. But it was semi-cold outside, because it was still February. So we decided to go back to her house, which her family was home. And we decided to just chill out where it's warm, and wait until we have the opportunity to slip by, you know, into the other room. Well, a couple of minutes turns to 15 minutes, turns to an hour and a half. And we realized this shit ain't happening today. And I had to go home soon, but I didn't know what to do, because at this point, the buses still ran, but they would stop running by the time, for how much time it would take me to go to the town of Els to the Fogs, they would stop running in the time between them. So I was kind of boned there, and nobody from Fog wanted to go all the way to the town of Els just to pick my ass up and come back home. So I was boned there. But I had a little tiny plan that might work if I was in a pinch. I didn't really think about this up until it was like, it's either this or I'm sleeping on the fucking street tonight, because ain't no fucking way I'm gonna be boarding that distance. I had a friend not very far from my FBs, Derpy. So I go just like around the corner a little bit, knock on Derpy's house. I'm like, hey, look, I'm kind of in a pinch, I need blah blah blah, this and that. Well, actually I was allowed to stay over there, so that's good fortune for me. And the good fortune kept on going because they were also agreeing to take me somewhere the next day. It was just so late tonight, they were like, you know what, just crash on the couch. Which was great, it was phenomenal actually. So me and Derpy had stayed up on the couch, talking about lucid dreaming, what awaits us on the other side, playing video games, just dicking around. And we didn't even realize that it was almost sunrise up until it was almost sunrise. So rather than, instead of just staying up, we decided to call it right there. We're like, holy shit, look at the fucking time. So I decided to sleep my happy ass on the couch, and I stayed asleep, dude. I slept in up until like 3 p.m. the next day. So now it's February 15th. When I decided to actually start the day, because I woke up like 5 times, kept falling back asleep. I mean, I couldn't actually get up. But when I decided to actually start my day, which is a lot later than everybody else in that damn house, they decided, okay, so let's try and take you somewhere, get you out of here. Because we got work and shit, you know how it goes. So I'd called my mom up, and she was actually spending time with family, right in the next town over. We're gonna call her Miss E. Well, Mrs. E now. And I was so hungry, but I didn't want to rummage through their stuff, that I had just said, hey look man, I still got that money from when I tried to go get a look at a movie. Can you just take me to Burger King? I'll pay. And they're like, no, you're fine, we'll pay. And I was like, if you're offering, I'll take you up on it, because I take you up on offers. But if it's fine with me if I pay. But they specifically said that they were going to pay anyway. Took me over to BK, and I wound up paying. It's fine. It's fine with me, but maybe they forgot. They said that they were gonna pay. It doesn't matter, because I had the money for it. It was like $15 because I was hungry as shit. But we went over to the next town over, found Mom, and there was a whole family meeting there, to my surprise demise. I finished up my lunch. Man, I was hungry. I just ate that. I almost inhaled it. And by the time we were leaving, the entire time I was there, I was like, we should all take a big family photo. But we were in the car, and I almost all but forgotten, that I wanted to take a photo up until we were just sitting in the car, and she was going to take me home. And I was trying to get Mom's attention, saying, hey, we should take a photo, blah, blah, blah. And she'd go, what do you want? So I'm trying to explain, wouldn't it be nice to take a photo? But 4 times I tried to explain, family photo, 4 times. And she interrupted me every single time. At this point, so if you repeatedly interrupt me, but also ask for like something I'm trying to say just to interrupt me again, you're gonna piss me the fuck off. So I was so pissed off that I just lost all interest. I had 0 interest in taking the family photo at this point. But she insisted that I tell her. So finally she lets me fucking explain, look, I just want to take a photo and then we can just get out of here. But I don't want to do that anymore because now I'm mad. Well, she likes the idea so much she was trying to push me back into the house so we could all take a family photo. And my interest is already deplenished, so I didn't want to leave the car. Which antagonized me and her more. And then I got scolded at for like 15 whole minutes straight before we actually went home. That night, I was so infuriated, I decided to drink. I was so mad I wanted to break something. So I drank, and then I was going to find something to just break open or smash apart or whatever. But I wound up just being self-destructive instead. I tore up my own damn emotions. I soon realized that I need a break from all this shit. I'm still fucking mad. I need to go somewhere for more than a single day. It doesn't matter where, I just need to not be here. I need to be away. So I'm sitting here trying to figure this out. And actually, a friend of mine back in fucking school had actually reconnected with me back in January. Turns out he lives in the Fogs, not very far. I'm like, you know what? If he lets me stay over there, or maybe a night, and I can go find some other place to be for the rest, like 3 whole nights, that's cool. He was like, no, you can stay as long as you want. We just have a problem. We got a demon in our house. Yeah, you didn't think this story was gonna be about a demon, did you? But yep, this is another Demon Slayer story. It was fine with me. Demons ain't nothing but a thing at that point. I've had my experiences with demons. I knew what I was doing. So I decided to take my crystals, I got my phone for meditation music, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do some demon shit. By the way, for future reference, this dude's name, we're gonna call him Skates for Life. Yep, that's legit what we're gonna call him. And so I went down to the house of Skates for Life, figured out what was going on with the demon. We don't have very much time left in this video, but I'm going to just give you a little rundown. It didn't like him personally. He'd wake up with scratches, and if there were pictures of him on the wall, whether it be with someone or just him alone, they'd be flung off. It would feed on the rage of people inside the house. That's not him. It's other people's rage, and it would feed on that type of energy. It would get bad in there. It would get really bad in there. So I got selenite, crystal quartz. I had a whole clear quartz, sorry, on my wrist, a whole bracelet on it. I had my my necklace that has my crystals. I set myself up, and I was getting ready. I was pumped, and I made that demon my bitch. We're gonna talk more about this in the next episode. For right now, catch you guys later. Chaka.